Okay, I'm here with my friend Kathy. I'm so happy. We've been chatting away. Hey, Kath, we've been just
Hi.
getting caught
Hi.
up.
So good.
So good. So you guys have Kathy Kaehler here, and we haven't caught up in a few years. It's been way too long.
It has been way too long, but I have been seeing you. So know that I see you and I hear you.
Oh my gosh. Well, you've been inspiring me for years, along with, you know, hundreds of thousands of people. And you already know that I first met you VHS when I was a teenager trying to get abs like Claudia Schiffer.
Yes. And I have been actually working out to myself during this pandemic. How awkward is that?
Oh my gosh. That's
In
awesome.
fact, I have somebody who has just made a purchase saying, I want your DVD. Because I keep saying, like, online, I'm like, I'm working out to myself. Now, that is that. Anyway.
Well, those VHS tapes were amazing, and I wish I still had mine from back in the day. They were so good. So I know we're right now. It's funny because when I started this season for Ambitious Mama, this is season 4. Um, like the first episode is just hilarious because I didn't know COVID was coming, right? And it was like it's like time to like level up and like take it to the next level and grow and I thought I knew what that looked like, but obviously it looked totally different. But I think from everyone that I'm speaking with, everyone that I'm working with, everyone that I'm interviewing, there's more growth going down than ever before during
and
this time.
and all kinds.
All kinds. It looks completely different for everyone.
Right. I don't think really we had any clue that this was something that could possibly happen in our lifetime.
No.
You know, I my kids are 24, almost 24 and almost 20. And so they have different questions of what, what this all means and when is it going to end? And um, I thought about my life, and I always heard my grandparents or my parents talking about situations in their childhood. And, we hear now about the different pandemics in the early 1900s. But I really never thought that here in this type of world that we live, that's so technological and transportable and mobile, that we would be all in our houses sitting here on these Zoom calls. So there's a level of fear and scariness to it because it's weird.
Yeah.
But I think the weeks that have passed, we've adopted what we're supposed to be doing, and then we've had to become creative and very, as you're saying, the growth. Like what are we doing to grow ourselves, and how are we accepting this is a level of growth with emotion and confidence and security. And how are we growing physically? Do you have a method, a routine, something that you've set up on your own?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I have a chart in front of me, actually, that is just a piece of poster board, and it's my moves that I have to do before I lay down. So
Oh.
and I'll take a picture, I'll send it to you. But it's just the way you have to train yourself to continue your growth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all new. It's all new. It's new for me. It's new for my kids. It's new for everyone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I've had this conversation with a few people who I've interviewed during this time, and I think at first there was like this messaging that was going out, and I don't know exactly from who, but well-meaning people who were saying like, you don't have to grow, you don't have to, you could just be, because it's a pandemic, right? You don't have to do anything new, you don't have to work on a new skill, you don't have to set goals, and I think that all the intentions were well-meaning, um, but I also know to be true that this time has given us a gift that we'll never get again. And I think if we make the intention to use it to serve us best, while allowing a lot of grace, for ourselves and for how things may change day to day and how we're feeling. I think this is like a beautiful gift of growth. Would you say?
Absolutely. And I think the part that I have taken, and I hope others may see this too, is that we beat down on ourselves so hard.
Mhm.
And I look at all of the things that I was doing before, and it was, just the every single day of the different things that I would say I have to get done.
Yeah.
And it was almost like a frenzy of activity. And in the last weeks, I've been noticing that I'm actually very appreciative to myself and pat on the back that
Yeah.
I accomplished one thing.
Yeah.
And one thing might have even been like, oh my God, you got up before 9 and you took a shower. You actually feel like, hey, good going.
Go,
So,
girl.
so maybe there's a growth in slowing down,
Mm-hmm.
being, present, um, maybe really being in that moment of getting whatever that is that you're choosing to do that day or today.
Yeah.
Today I'm going to think this is it. Me talking to you is it. Like that's where I'm going to be, because I want to be, I looked forward to this. I saw your message. I saw your email. We had this lovely conversation before we started.
Yeah.
It's a mindset of saying, okay, this is enough,
Yeah.
because I want to really use this, and how it plays out later might just show up, but I want to be here and be present in it.
Beautiful. So intentional, right? I think
Mm,
I think the lie that a lot of us tell ourselves, and some of us may believe it, is that we're good at multitasking. Now, I think just because we can technically do it, I don't believe, at least for myself, that I'm bringing quality to each of the things that I'm multitasking, opposed to,
right. That's exactly it. It's, yes, we can multitask, but where does the level of focus and um,
quality.
giving all and quality
Yeah.
in each of those things?
Hmm.
So, yeah, we can do them all, but are you putting everything in it that
Yeah.
you can?
Yeah. Is it really serving yourself or the other people in the multitasking well?
Right,
Probably not.
right, right.
I have an interesting question, and I asked my last guest this too, but it's really been on my mind. I think we're all looking forward to getting back to different states of normal. What is one thing that you do not want to go back to normal?
Well, I've discovered a few things along the way. Um, I don't think I'll ever buy paper towel again.
Okay.
I know these are little things, but they're little things that, if you look at it in the grand scheme, it's pretty massive. But
Mhm.
I've realized I don't need to buy them.
Yeah.
I I have tea towels that I find that are beautiful, that some are vintage, they're embroidered, they mean something to me. They're easy to throw in with my regular load of laundry, and I don't have to think about how many trees did this take, then
Hmm.
how many paper towel rolls are in every house, in every city, in every state, in every country. So that's one. Number two, I also discovered no knead bread making. And I have made the most delicious, super easy loaves of bread. I don't I don't think I'll buy bread at the store anymore.
Wow.
Well, I'm not kidding you. It was so easy. It was beyond like just silly. So easy.
Okay, so you're gonna
So
give
that
me the recipes, right?
I will, absolutely. I think the other things that I'm not going to go back to, I think my fear was challenged. I think I was I sometimes dipped into the fear mongering. I caught myself, and I think that takes a little more of understand what you believe in
Mhm.
and stand on it, and then I think we're also looking at um, more education and research on your own before you jump in.
Mhm.
And that can follow through in everything. It can follow through in what we do as our businesses. It can follow through with our products that we align ourselves with. It can follow through with just what we choose to eat, how we choose to exercise. It's very easy to be lured with words and headlines and stories. But when we peel back the layers and take the time to do that, I feel that is what I'm learning from this stay-at-home pandemic is, let's do a little more research. Let's do a little more
Mhm.
understanding, a little more education, and
Yeah.
then come to where you want to go.
Let's dig a little deeper.
Dig a little deeper.
Yeah, that's every day at dinner time. My older son Curtis, he'll come to me with some um, fact that he picked up, and I
Yeah.
know where he got his information from. And he'll say, "Did you know you could use an apple to charge your phone?" And I'll say, "Well, maybe just, do a little fact check on that one. Where did you find that information?" He's like, "TikTok." Every time, TikTok is where he gets his news from.
But I love what you said to him
Yeah.
is cool. That's very interesting. And then have them, check a little more. Let them discover, is that possible or is it not possible? Who
Yeah,
knows?
before you start telling all your friends.
Right. And I think we can learn that as grown-ups too, because it's
100%. There's a
easy.
lot of just random sharing on Facebook. They like the idea behind it, and it's just a quick share.
Right, right. So
Mhm.
do more work.
Do a little more work. Okay, beautiful, beautiful takeaways. Now, obviously, as a personal trainer, for how many years have you been? How long? Long
Well,
time.
I started teaching exercise classes to choreographed songs that I was handed a 3-ring binder as a senior in college. So that's 1984.
Wow,
That's
that's amazing. I mean, I wish all the listeners can know all of your adventures. Could we just have an episode about that?
I'm writing my final book.
Oh my gosh. I will read it. I cannot wait.
Behind me, I have my first 8.
Wow. Okay,
My
but I want to
first
know
one,
all of the like behind the scenes cool
that's it.
stories.
No, this is the tell-all.
The tell all? Oh my gosh. Okay.
Tell-all. If you follow me on Instagram, I started it's a post right at the beginning of this pandemic, and I stated, "COVID got me." Now, let me tell you how many people wrote saying, "Oh my God, are you sick?"
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was followed up with, "It got me to actually put everything out on my table and start writing about my life."
Oh my God. He's in such
So
an amazing
it's
life.
happening. It's
Okay.
happening. Stories will be laid out in full.
We had Julia Roberts, Jane Fonda, the Kardashians. I've only touched.
All be in there. It'll all be in there. I found some juicy stuff.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Please just let me know so I can get the copy as soon as possible.
You'll
Okay.
be the first podcast.
Yes. Okay. So growth mindset. Let's circle back here because I think personal trainers, athletes, like the athlete mindset, the whole idea to have a mindset of growth, right? I know that you have it, and you've obviously been in growth mode since forever, right? And I just want to talk to you about this because I want to know where you're at right now in terms of personal growth, what it looks like, because I really want to be able for all the listeners to tune into and to honor where they're at in their growth and to feel good about it. So where are you at right now, Kathy?
Well, I'm going to take off with what you said as
Mhm.
a trainer and as an athlete. one of the things that I pull away from that is competitiveness.
Mm.
And I have, and it gets me in trouble, but I have extreme competitiveness. And right now it's with my husband. So if he beats me at backgammon, I lose my mind. If he's exercising upstairs on the Peloton, I pull out my step and I start exercising to myself down here. So it's a good and a bad thing. But competition, I think, is part of drive. Mm-hmm. And it drives you to the next thing. So I look at what are the other things that you compete with yourself on. So, I have my step tracker. I'm competing with myself every day with my numbers of steps. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't enough. I found that I was itching for something else. Something was calling me. Something was making me just not comfortable. Mm-hmm. And so prior to this pandemic, and this goes back to this time of year right now, last year, and I'll say straight out, I have my USANA business. I have my regular customers, and I'm grateful, and I hope I have that till the day I die. Mm-hmm. But I was not actively growing in that particular area. Mm-hmm. I'll always share USANA. I'll always, people see that I take it. I think for me, it's the power of emulating and people follow what you do. Mm-hmm. But for me, something else I just needed to do something else. And I'll share most of that story is how I've gotten back involved with my clients, but in a completely different way. Mm-hmm. But I decided to say yes to an acting job. Now, I acted in college and I acted in high school, but I've never done anything again since then. I've done TV and all that, playing myself. But this was a thing that came across my plate, and I said, yes, absolutely. What else am I doing? I want to do something. So I did it, and now I'm on a TV show. How crazy is that?
What's the TV show called?
It's called Rusty Camel TV. It's on YouTube. It's a web series right now, but it's being looked at for a larger platform. Okay. It's getting good views. And I have to say, it was very scary. I felt very intimidated. I felt very personally judged. And that just came from me, like my own personal judgment. But what it did is opened up another path. Mm-hmm. And that's where I think the most, the best way I can describe it is that we feel like we're on these paths and we feel like we've chosen them intentionally. And I think there's some, rigidness in our lives that we feel as we age, we want to stay where we are. It's comfortable, it's safe. And like we were talking before we started, is as we age, we kind of think, oh, I don't want to have more friends. I have enough already. Or, I don't want to add more things on. My calendar is so full. How can I possibly take on something else? But what we don't realize is when we do say yes to something totally different, we just don't know what's on that path. Mm-hmm. And if you risk by saying yes, and I'll figure it out as I go, mm-hmm. It opens up a whole nother area of life, of people, of growth, of experience, of emotion, of competition, and it just creates another level of fulfillment. Even where I am right now, I'm mid to late 50s. I grew up where it was middle-aged and then, okay, retirement. No
way.
No. So that's the thing is I shot this last October and settled in on it, and then waited, and then this pandemic, and now it's out, and my book is laid out, and I'm more competitive than ever.
Yeah. Okay. So is the lesson in staying in a place, I think the thing is, I think that there's information out there that's like empowering women to say no. It's okay to say no. But I always feel like just say yes and see what's out there.
Yeah. It's okay to say no, but it's also really okay to say yes.
Even if it's super scary and unknown.
Yeah.
In fact, that's probably the things to say yes to.
Yeah. You can look at it too in that it's also a place to help you grow what you're already doing.
Mm-hmm.
You can bring that with you. You can always bring it with you.
Yeah. And look at
And
all your adventures. Oh my gosh.
and and
Insane.
I think the thing about it too is that we're gaining more ability to look at yourself, and again, how we talked about the accomplishment.
Yeah.
um, we thrive on that as much as we don't realize the power of accomplishment. Like when you make your bed in the morning, I tell
Yeah.
my kids, messy head, messy bed. Make your bed. It's a first thing that you can say, I accomplished that.
Absolutely.
um, you know we as humans, I believe that's innate. We thrive on accomplishment. It builds energy, it builds character, it builds strength.
Yes.
And so I look at it that way, and I really think that it's what I've taken away in my 50s, is not to slow down, but to, and not necessarily to speed up, but to look at the different paths and take them.
So good. So good. And I think like I'm thinking about this. Okay, so when something comes to you, so comes across, like comes on your plates, like through email or text or however it's arriving, I think it either gives you a feeling of like, ooh, like, like what is this? Or like, oh God, like I don't want that. Like I feel you
Right.
feel it in your body, right? Because that
Yeah.
feeling of excitement, and even if there's fear wrapped up in it, like it's exciting. It feels expansive. It feels like there's possibility. Then the opposite is like restrictive. Like if you can say no to, like, I don't know, maybe it's like seeing a friend that really doesn't fill your cup, because it's okay to say no because you don't have maybe the capacity to serve that relationship right now. That's
Right.
a good hard no, because it
Right.
doesn't feel expansive.
Right.
Right. And I think it's a feeling in your body that you kind of got to get it in tune with.
Yeah. And sometimes it takes getting all the way to the bottom,
Yeah.
where you are exhausted, where you are
Feeling
tapped
broken.
out,
Yeah.
broke, whatever it is. But building it back up
Yeah.
becomes your choice, and how you do it, what you say yes to and what you say no to. And I think too, it's what you were just kind of touching on, is the energy,
Mm-hmm.
and being in tune with what feels energetic, in that you can
Mm-hmm.
touch that,
Mm-hmm.
compared to where something is very draining.
Yeah.
And how do you recognize those two things?
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah.
Yeah, it's either going to pull you down
Hmm.
or bring you up. Right?
And
And
the only
so
way to try it is to test it.
yeah,
Great thing about a path: go down it. If you don't like it, turn around.
around. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's speak to any women, any person, I'll say, who's listening. I looked at the analytics yesterday, and I do have a small male following on Ambitious Mama. Okay,
Oh, guys.
so to all the peeps listening, if anyone is feeling stuck, broken, limited, scared, any of those feelings, just like you're tired, okay? I think both you and I'm sure we've both been there. I know I've been there multiple times in my life.
I've been there multiple times during this pandemic.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we do? What do you do? I'll share what I do. You share what you do to reach a little higher and to take those steps to get to that place of feeling good and feeling supported and feeling excited maybe. And I know that might be that's a few steps away, but what are your steps?
Well, I come to it with, again, an athletic focus and a body focus. And the dark side of my body focus is something that I've dealt with all my life, which is body image and eating disorder. And now and then I went through disordered eating, and now I am very educated and understand fuel is fuel. Fuel is really where it starts. So I think to do it very much in a bullet point is that you've got to do a check-in on what fuel has gone in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's been a morning that it's been a bite of a this and a bite of a that, and it's not balanced like my shake, then I know I'm going down a bad hill, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So that, and that you can turn immediately. Just make a shake.
Yeah.
Like it's an instant whoosh. Okay, that is at least going to settle that scary rip.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's one. The other thing is I have never, ever felt bad after coming back from doing something that kicks my heart rate up and gets me breathing and gets me moving.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, because we can't go to a gym, I find myself doing a lot of walking. And I know this is so cliche. It's so boring. And it's so like everyone says that, but it's really true. I cannot tell you enough. I put my phone in my side of my tights. I check my steps on where it's at, and I just go. And I go for an hour. I go for an hour and a half. I go for 45 minutes. I go for 2.5 hours. I go super early morning. I go super late at night. Sometimes, I know I don't promote it at night, but I have a very safe place to walk. But there's something that changes the level of your mood in the endorphins and the balance, the appreciation, the time where you're just looking at trees or sky or whatever it is. It changes your perspective. And that to me is a gift. And that is something that everybody can give to themselves. And I can't promote it enough.
Absolutely. I think isn't it Tony Robbins who says, motion changes emotion?
Yes. Totally.
Right?
Totally.
That's it. Move your bod. Move the bod. So true. There's never a workout or a yoga class or anything that you're going to regret.
Right. We told our kids that when they're little, they would need to, go jump on the trampoline or go run around the block, whatever it is. It changes the mood.
Absolutely. I'll just add one thing to that. I think when you're feeling low, you don't want to show up for stuff. It's just like you don't want to, right? But I can tell you that, in our larger USANA family, there's a lot of opportunities to show up, whether it's for a training or a meeting or a collaboration or a in-person event or whatever. But whenever I've shown up, even though I didn't want to, right? So I showed up to support a few people at a cafe or whatever it was, or showed up to support a customer, I always felt better by showing up, right? Something shifted. And even though I didn't have a lot to give, if I'm showing up for someone else, I'm shifting the focus off of myself into supporting, helping, and that takes me out of my own stuff into a better place. And I leave feeling inspired from just showing up, right? And those of you who are not in our USANA family listening, you could apply that to absolutely anything. Show up for that girls' night. Show up for that whatever, just show up, right? Especially when you don't want to sometimes, because like that also showing up for other people and being around people who you know will leave you feeling better is
Right.
always a good thing.
And it's reflection.
Yeah.
The reflection of showing up is you're seeing someone else
Yeah.
and you're reflecting onto them, but
Mhm.
they're reflecting onto you.
Mhm.
So that a lot of times creates creativity and inspiration and then motivation.
Yes.
You don't know what you're going to hear from
Mhm.
someone who's there, whether they're just learning about something for the first time or they are coming with an issue and you're just there. You don't know how that's going to affect you.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, because you've shown up,
Mhm.
you are reflecting onto them and their reflection. You take away.
Mhm.
You take away something might trigger you to say, oh my gosh, I'm going to write something about this topic,
Yeah.
or that really reminded me of something. I'm going to go back and do this, or we just don't know. And that's the whole thing of saying yes and taking that risk and then having it, rebound onto something.
Absolutely. So I've been hosting these power hours, like I told you there, and it's so funny because I'm like every people are showing up not knowing what the heck I have in store for them each day, right? And and I'm like, okay, guys, you ready? Ready for the next challenge? And they're just like, I don't even know, right? Because it's like everything is so out of the comfort zone. And then someone shared with me today in a message. She says, I have to confess, I like hated the first 2 times I showed up. She says, but now it's like the highlight of my day because I'm excited. It just feels so expansive,
Right,
right? To be surrounded by people who want to grow,
right,
right? People
right.
who are saying yes, people who are lifting each other up. And I think there's something really, really magical when you're around people who truly live the hashtag women supporting women. It's
Mm,
different to use the hashtag.
yes,
And actually living it is totally different,
right,
because what it looks like is like, we're celebrating someone who has zero impact on our livelihood, but we're just genuinely super excited because she's growing and she feels good because
right.
it paves the way for all of us, the rising tide, right?
Totally. Totally.
Yeah. So I'm
That's really great. I'm excited for you.
I'm excited for us, Kathy, and I just need you to be able to cross that border so you can come see me. Fingers are crossed.
Counting the days.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so when all this pandemic is over, is there anything that you're looking forward to most?
I said to my husband, I'm going to call my masseuse because I am dying. The knots, usually I get like, the stripping. I'm just like, can you just come over? So I'm definitely going to be loving that. I miss my trainer a lot. I have a great gym that I work out in, so I miss that. And but mostly, honestly, it's the freedom of just being able to pick up and go do something
Mhm.
that I'm not being told I can't. That's what I miss. And then on a very personal level, I miss my mom. So, when you're not allowed to do something, and the last time when you did do it, you just didn't realize that there was ever not going to be that time.
Mhm.
That's the emotional hard
So
part.
hard.
Yeah.
Oh, Kathy, I just wish I could give you a hug, but
I wish I could hug you.
I, I'm I'm seeing these stories pop up from like memories, and I'm like, we were
Yeah.
standing so close to each other.
No, I know it. I know it. We were all in a circle in my living room at the cottage.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, thank you so much for your time, Kathy, and I know that the best is yet to come for both of us.
For
Thank you
sure.
for like generously sharing your wisdom, and I just can't wait for that book.
I know it.
Juicy, juicy.
Oh,
We'll talk soon, Kathy.
okay, absolutely.
Okay, thank you again. You're amazing.
Bye.
Bye.